Driver Danny earns a penny on Uber.
Alright guys, it's Saturday. Now before we get on with the shift, do you remember the Valentine's Day log off that they did? And it was proper widespread. I heard it from all types of different social medias and things like that. Here's what the organisers said about the success of that particular day. Here we go.
Here's how drivers took on Uber, held one big log off and won every single one of our demands. Nah, we all knew it wouldn't be that easy. We all know that if we ever want to see real change, we have to be in this for the long game. But what we achieved this Valentine's Day was absolutely incredible. In just over a month, we got the word out all over the UK. We gave out flyers, put up posters, sent texts, telegrams, TikToks and emails.
Drivers groups around the UK stepped up and mobilised their members to join the log-off, including the Private Hire Drivers Alliance in Birmingham, the Leicester Taxi Drivers Group, British Bangladeshi Minicab Drivers Association and Uber Drivers Newcastle.
We got Uber bosses panicking and sending out emails to drivers trying to get them to work. From 4 PM to 10 PM, we saw surge pricing, so we know we hit Uber hard. We got coverage in the national press, including on ITV, The Guardian, The Mirror, The Independent and the BBC. We should all be really proud of what we achieved in such a short space of time. Everyone who added their friends to WhatsApp groups, gave out flyers, shared social media and pledged action. This was successful because of you.
Now the reason I've brought this up is because there's a second log off day coming, which is May the 1st. Now, the reason they've picked May the 1st is quite significant because historically it was Labour Day and to support workers' movements and rights. So it's interesting that they've picked that particular day. Whether it's success or not remains to be seen. But let's get on with today's shift. First hour up. And this is what I'm on. Oh dear. It's been awful. It's not that they've offered me loads of jobs and I've been saying no to them. There's just been no trips offered at all. I really hope it picks up. One of them was also a cancel. And it was strange because as I accepted the job, it was showing me the route. And then it come up, you know, that doom. And then it said, rider cancelled. But the route was still showing. So I got a little confused. So I carried on heading towards the route. And then the whole route just disappeared. And a different job offer come up. Well, that's a bit strange. So I don't know whether my app's glitching or what. Let's see what the next hour does. Well, another hour up. And I've slightly under the 20 quid an hour. I'll give it here. But I'm still getting a lot of app errors. I've been accepting jobs. And when I've pressed accept, it's popped up with something's gone wrong. And then it's gone off. And then there was a trip radar that I went to accept, and as it offered me the job, as I got it, it said navigate. When I pressed navigate, it had all gone again, and it just said online. So I'm going to reinstall the app now, completely remove it off my phone and reinstall it, and hopefully that'll fix things. But it has just had an update before I come online, so I'm not sure whether it's something to do with that. Who knows? Right, well, it's 7 o'clock now, and I did uninstall the app, and the errors seem to have stopped, and I'm now on this. So I've done 30 quid in the last 90 minutes, which is roughly the target I like to get. Obviously, we all want more. So I was talking to a friend the other day. Now, I think he handled the situation pretty poorly. He's also an Uber driver. And he said someone was walking towards his car, having a ciggy, you know, really fast, blowing smoke really fast. And as that customer got in his car, he turned round, the driver, my friend, and he went, I'm gonna have to open a window because you stink of smoke. And it caused absolute mayhem between the pair of them. Nasty atmosphere, arguing back and forth. I won't get into too much detail about the arguing, but I'm sure you can imagine it wasn't pleasant. It got to the point where the driver said, do you know what, I'm not taking you, get out. And I said to him, the whole situation could have been avoided if you just opened the window anyway and didn't say nothing, and didn't say a reason why you'd done it. Just open a window. I mean, on the odd occasion you can get a smelly customer in your car, but I'm not going to turn round and say to them, you stink, I'm opening a window. I mean, I don't know, am I just too polite? Do you guys tell the customers that they stink and that's the reason you're opening a window? Because if he hadn't have opened the window, if he hadn't have said that as he opened the window, none of that arguing would have started, and it would have just been a regular job. That's just my thoughts on it. I'm going to have a quick break now, and then when I come out, it'll be an hour after when I come out. I'll do what I normally do, where I show you both of the screenshots. It's 8:30. What you're seeing on the screen now is 7:30 when I come back out after my break, and then an hour later, 8:30. Definitely, probably the best hour I've had so far today. I have just had one of them customers, so it was 3 lads. They all get in, you know, all boys, kind of, you know, out on the ale, and they go, all right, mate, so we need to drop him off on the way, we need to go to an offie, and we need to go to a cash point. I went, mate, I'm not going to any of them unless it's in the Uber app. What do you mean it's on the way? I went, mate, I don't care if it's on the way or not. If it ain't in the Uber app, I'm not doing it. That's why they have that feature. Right, well, I went, tell you what, Asda's round the corner, add that, and you get 2 of them straight away with 1 stop. So he goes, oh, yeah, okay. He went, you realise you're talking yourself out of a tip? I went, you realise you're talking yourself out of a driver? And that, they were all laughing and stuff, so it was all, you know, wasn't tense or nothing. But I imagine that could have been tense with certain drivers, but you just have to learn to de-escalate things or make a joke, and the talking yourself out of a driver made a joke. Anyway, they added the other stop, which was Asda, and it went from a £6 fare to a £7.20 fare. They were in and out of Asda like an absolute shot. Gets back in, drives away. As I drops them off, the fare had gone to £9.50 with the waiting. I have no idea why. They were literally 4 minutes. But that's why it's so important to make sure that they add that stop, because I never got a tip from them, but I did get the waiting time from them. 10:30, so 2 hours since my last update, and it's been absolutely non-stop. Don't know what happened. It was like there was a switched on the Uber's mainframe, and it was like, give driver Denny loads of jobs. But I wasn't complaining. I'm now on this, so I'm glad I'm on this, because that's made up for them awful hours that I had at the beginning. But it's like I say, you can't judge a day by 1 or 2 hours and then go home after 1 or 2 hours. You need to give it a, you know, a good 4 to 6 before you get a feel for how bad the day's going to be. And luckily enough, it's turning out okay for me. Hopefully I haven't jinxed it. Totally jinxed it, didn't I? Nothing. For 15 minutes, nothing come through. And then I thought, you know what, I'm going to play the Uber game. And I started heading home. And then as I was heading home, a job popped up that was going close to my house for £6 odd. So it's now 11 o'clock, and that's what I'm finishing on. So I don't know, wasn't too bad. Anyway, before we get into the roundup, I do have a couple of videos coming up soon. So I've got an interview coming up with me accountant again. Remember, he was on and we did the whole talking about tax thing. I've invited him back on for a little chat about another subject. So that'll be coming up hopefully sometime next week. And I've also got an interview with a London driver, which will be coming up soon as well. So if you're interested in them, make sure that you do subscribe and keep your eye out for them. Anyway, let's do the roundup. So we've got today's hours, today's earnings, and today by the hour. Now I know it wasn't great compared to some of the Saturdays I do, but it is the last Saturday before payday, isn't it? So everyone's skint, and I think everyone's skint generally anyway. Now I've realised that at the beginning of this I didn't tell you whether I'd be logging off or not on the Thursday. the 1st of May. So I'm gonna log off on the Thursday. Not gonna work. See what happens. Don't forget, if you've enjoyed this video, give us a like. If you're new, give us a sub. I'll catch you in the next one, guys.